Well, here we are again. And again and again. I'm not sure if this is going to be the last. Not sure if this is going to be the last time for this playthrough or not. And the wonderful thing about it is, even with you actually taking an ending, you can go back and play the same game. And I usually take my finished games and use them to look at additions they make to the game. So, all hope's not lost. What in the world is that? I know what that is. I know what that is. I know what that is. Not sure I remember what that is. Ain't nothing like taking a look. 'Cause I'm a little early. And I'm sure once I glance at it, oh, I know what this is. Maybe this is the next one. I'll start saving games with. But I can wait on folks to come along and let this one sit and percolate, because we are almost at 95% to be full terraformation. I probably do need to make some mammals, but you have to have DNA. And I've been putting up DNA rockets about as hard as I can go. Yeah, I took all of them out of there. I could extract genetic traits from bees. Hell, I got those going in the trash. But I've also got a bee locker down here. That's demanding that. How about let's try that out? That might be an easy way to get genetic traits. No fair starting early. Sometimes you just gotta. I just found out a different way to get genetic traits that I knew, but it was out of the forefront of my mind. Let me see. Well, I'm sorry that I started early, but it actually is going to work out good for us, because I'm going to go get some more bees and make genetic traits out of them, because I've got an overage of bees, bee larvae, and I can start putting up animal rockets. Which I have need to do is dole them out 6 at a time, and do you have your coffee? Is the question of the morning. Blurg. Okay, you're not quite human. I get it. And my wife did a poll on Facebook that I'm going to go do after I get done here. And one of the questions was, are you a morning person? And the answer, of course, was no. Blurg, such a nice word. Now, I need to go up here. I have been awake for about 120 seconds. Oh my gosh, that you have to talk to me right after you wake up. Bless you. Because unfortunately, I wake up fully formed. And talkative. Pardon me. So, in answer to my asking, do you have coffee? The answer is no. You might be on your way to getting it. See you now. I get to fly back down here and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I would actually be able to do this better if I didn't have other stuff in my inventory, but the arm actually woke me up. I could have slept right through otherwise. Well, you know, if you're here, you're here, and I do enjoy you being here, and if you're not, you're not. I mean, sometimes your body says, hey, we're not doing this. Whoop. I need 5 more of those. And I need 2 more of those. Let's take 3. And 3 rocket engines. No, I've been up since first remember looking at the clock about 4:30. So now I really am out. Lovely. I've got one more left and I need 5 bees. No bees there. Whoops. That went right down the hatch. Might as well take that one too. Yes, brain and right hand are semi-functional. The rest will follow. Oh, no, that's not what I wanted. You edge. Not the majestic launch one hopes for. Yeah, you think it's all going to go to plan, and then you look. See, you're funny even when you just wake up. But part of that was my fault. I was throwing it on before the other rocket ever got gone good. And this is the one with fish in it when you don't use any fish eggs, which... And now you're dehydrating and about to starve. Let me demand bee larvae, since I know I can make them into stuff that I need. However, we're getting pretty close to being the one. We're almost at 5. Okay, put those away. Oh. Damn, I keep pressing the wrong button. Bye, fish. Hope you land in water. Yeah. I did do a little off camera, put this little guy in because I had 2 fuses and I figured I had them, even though I already had one of those out here. Might as well use it, and it does make the trade rockets a whole heck of a lot faster. And I was looking at my unfinished games. How close are you to completion? Well, I'm at 4.89 TTI and completion is 5. So closer than I thought I would be. However, I was looking at this game and it's almost at 1 TTI, but not quite. And it is a whole different game. Well, of course, but well set up and got a lot of minerals going in it, and I think that might be the next game to complete. And here's the thing, you can still play them after you complete them. Yeah, that's a big old base. I had kind of forgotten about that one because I was looking at it and I went, what in the world is that all about? Well, I looked and went, that game. So I think once I finish this one and take one of the exits, that's going to be the next one I'm going to grind on. This base has, it just seems disjointed to me. It's like I tried to build in the smallest space possible, and I'm unfortunately bad for that. I'm, I've often said I'm not well organized, but this just seemed to be worse than. With as many animal rockets as I put up, you would think that my animal situation extraction platform happens at 5. And I've gotten everything else in the game but that. So I think that's what the plan's going to be going forward. I think I might do this. I want to get this one finished, which is why I'm doing it today, but I think I might do Planet Crafter on Mondays and Fridays. Might even try hardcore again. Seems pretty organized to me. Okay, here I am, stepping back to being in the military. One of my, when I became an instructor, one of my deployment jobs was building F-16 fuel tanks. And they come in a box of 4 and you build them out. Well, we had somebody come by and do a study on how we had everything laid out so you could get, the most production out of the least movement. I can't remember what it's called, but that's the gist of it. And from that standpoint, I've got things in various stupid places that I'm running back and forth, spending a lot of time on my feet, that if they were together, you would be spending a lot less time. And that's the way my brain, thinks. For as unorganized as it is, I think about stupid stuff like that, and it just makes me a bit nuts. God, oxygen is to the moon. Okay. Yeah, exactly that. Ergonomic efficiency, yes. That you spend so much time and you're futzing around with things. That's the proper amount of rockets. I want those going there, and I want those someplace else. But in this game, that's kind of tough to do because, there's a beginning game and then there's a mid-sector game. Well, the late game is after you start getting drones. At that point, you can start grouping things together to do certain things better. Even Icy and I were talking about it one day that through the mid-game, from the early game to the mid-game of this game, the early game you work it one way and then the situation changes where you start getting more stuff and you start working it another way because you just have to. There's just nothing Nothing else to be said for it. And I'll be nice and shoot these off and let them go so we don't have rocketception. Seems pretty organized to you because you just woke up. However, you're a librarian and organization is your name. Boy, that storm started fast. Let me get back inside where it's not as noisy. The problem is that this game is easy to move things. You go through stages as the game gives them, and that's not efficient. And that's true. However, that's part of the fun of it. You know, there's an early and mid-game grind that if you're going to get through this game, and this game has helped me with other games because I can relate. It took me a long time to get through the mid-game of this game. It drove me. I started playing this game in 2022, and you know, I was thinking even at the time, even when they didn't have a finished game, that, you know, gosh, I could never get to the frog level or whatever. Hell, the first time I got to Blue Sky, I didn't know, you know, I didn't know what to do with myself. However, I've had this problem in real life too. I rebuilt a ZL600 Kawasaki, a 1986 model. Beautiful motorcycle. It was a cruiser. You could sit on it. And I'm reasonably short. I'm 5'9", and well, probably 5'8" now, knowing me. As crooked as my back is, but I could sit on that motorcycle and flat-foot it on the ground and really, really enjoyed it. And let me see if I got any of that rolling around here. I really don't think I do, because I don't think I've got... I really want to put another storage locker there, but I can't. You know, and when I rebuilt that motorcycle, I mean, I went through and picked out and got all the closest stuff that I could get, you know, even if it was off of a sister motorcycle, to get as close as I could to factory on that thing, because some of the stuff just, you know, it's unobtainium at this point. Working on a 30-year-old motorcycle it didn't take a lot of space in my garage, and that was a good thing, but it was hard to get parts for, and that was a bad thing. I was hip deep in eBay during the 8 or 9 months that I rebuilt that motorcycle. And I didn't have to mess with the engine because it did run. But after I got through with that, I've got pictures in my Facebook from April of 2012, and I even said, after I did it and put the last decal on it, took some of the last pictures of it while it was being rebuilt, I walked in the house and cried. I mean, I surprised myself so much, and I mean, it's a mental block. Well, there's Icy. Hi, Icy. How are you? And I know, Icy, that you saw that I had invited Darlene Miller into my Discord, because that's where I post when I go live, and she's been here, you know, with no prompting, so I figured she needed to know the straight stuff. Darlene is very quiet, but seems like a really good person. What world? Yeah, I see. I'm almost finished with this one. I'm at 5.91 the last time I noticed. Yeah, 4.97. I said 5, and I was wrong, and that's going to make it to where I won't be able to walk through here, but I hope everything's going okay in East Tennessee. I'm good. I've been crying this morning for birthday cards I woke up to. I was surprised. Well, happy birthday. Um, you know, 41 was one of those things, 40 actually, that I felt like I knew where I was going and what I wanted. Um, you know, and that was a milestone for me because I didn't have a great childhood. I never felt like my opinion was valued, and uh, you know, going and standing on my own 2 feet helped. And by 40, I had been divorced and was raising a kid pretty much all by myself, and then got remarried. uh, hey, I'm proud of you. There are some people that don't make it to 41, and uh, they'll never know the joy and the freedom of finally feeling like I don't care what you or anybody else says. I'm gonna be me, and I'm gonna be totally me. And if you don't like it, you can kiss my backside. There's a freedom to that that's you almost can't put into words. 40 is a good time in your 40s. Yeah. However, the other side of that is I started noticing my arthritis uh, about 48, and that was no fun. And I know you've already, got you know from here it's just a slide downhill. But no, we're happy you're around. Happy you're my friend. We've spent a lot of time in Planet Crafter, and you have turned out to be a wonderful friend. And there's nothing wrong with that. All right, what am I doing besides standing waiting on it to get to 5? Woohoo! See, now we can sit and talk because there ain't nothing to do but wait. Now I can be like Amp, not play the game and sit and talk. I wrote Amp yesterday after everything got through and said, I hope you're feeling better. And she said, no, I'm not. And, well, it's already on 5 TTI, but it's not at 100%. Yay! And the crowd goes wild. Now that's what I'm working on is the extraction platform. Oh, I bet you I'm going to have to go steal an energy fuse. And I just used my last rocket engine, the very last one. I shot myself in the foot. And I'll bet you all of my uranium is all stuffed. There's no rocket engines there. I've got one of these. Nope, I don't have one of those. Got one of those. I got one of those. Yeah, having friends online is easy. When you've had enough of them, you turn the darn thing off. Um, okay, I'm thinking I don't have any pulsar quartz. And we're going to spend the next hour building that extraction platform. I need to go to the Rainbow Cave and get pulsar quartz. Well, that made interesting noises. Alright, now I know where I'm at. Iron, 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 iron. Okay, now I know that there's supposed to be more pulsar quartz around here, because that is that. Yeah, we have a bunch of good people hanging around, and I gotta admit, Amp and Andreas have been very, very good to me, and that's why I try not to stream when they're streaming. Not that they would care, but just out of pure respect that they've been as good to me as they have. And I don't know that I need these right at the moment, but I probably could have even made those. And I'm a little unhappy. Husband made reservations for us Thursday evening. Unfortunately, he works until then. Well, at least you have something to look forward to. I don't need to go there. I don't need to go there. I don't have a lot of transporters in this playthrough. Oh, and that's exactly what I'm needing. Couldn't have come at a better time. Even though I do know, oh, I need 9 of those things like burning down the house. Yeah, your husband works way too hard. Hold it. Easiest way to find those during the day is underwater. I gotta admit, knowing how this game looks when you start it and knowing how this game looks when you finish it, it's a beautiful game. Okay. Time to float back up. I'm gonna have to wait until nightfall and go fly around. Pardon me. But I'm also gonna see, well, that's interesting. Would that be a feature or a bug? Well, that just stretches out the celebration. Well, work is work, no matter how easy it might be to do. And in my work, it was feast or famine. You used to have to find stuff to make yourself look a little busy so the boss wouldn't come around and go, hey, what the hell are you doing slacking off? Or everything was broke, and you had a, you know, the chief of the whole department standing there along with his boss, along with their boss, and everybody tapping their foot wondering, well, that's what the problem is. God, all of that needs to just be thrown, because I've put a tier 1 harvester in here, and tier 1 will not. I have pictures of him and others sleeping. Oh my gosh. Yeah, but I'm sure that when he does work, it's a tremendous pain in the backside. That's an ore extractor. How much does it take to make a tier 3? I need an osmium rod. Titanium is easy, but no, I don't need uncommon nothing. That makes me unhappy. Oh, new message received. Whoop. Where am I going? He's with the union and works for Alcoa. It used to be called Aluminum Company of America. Yes. And if he's working where I think he's working, I've driven by that place a million times in my childhood. Because my dad used to go to McGee Tyson to fly out. And so I've been by there, and that was never a great memory for me because I was watching my dad leave. You know, all a part of being a military kid. Alright, and then 2 more of those and fly back. Let's get this. Because I knew I'm going to need that. He cuts the coils of aluminum. Oh, well, Snickle Fritz. I once knew a guy in the military that to get a nap, he took a lock wire or safety wire. I've heard it called both things. We used to call it safety wire. Safety wired his wrist up to the axle of a piece of equipment and laid under it and went to sleep. And they actually got pictures of him with his wrist tied up to the axle of this piece of equipment, slobbering on the floor, dead asleep. I was like, dang, that's cold as ice. I need some of that. So, yeah, he works in the south plant. They still have the north plant for smelting, but shut down the west plant. Yeah. I don't know which plant is which, but I know where you're talking about. What in the Sam Fred am I doing here? What in the world? That's going back. Okay. Good grief. Got myself turned around. And I know I saw and I've got to say, the nights do not last long in this game anymore. You can still see the sign from McGee Tyson Airport. Yeah. Oh yeah, that place when I was going out there as a kid. Good grief, there wasn't a thimble full of nothing out there, you know, other than the airport. The funny part of it, my dad was stationed there when he first went in the military. Now, and I don't know if, yep, that's got enough for that. I got one of those. And now I need the rod, so I'm going to have to shut that off. Take these with me. Put those there. Take this here. All I need. Yeah, it is packed with all kinds of businesses. Well, the whole going toward Pigeon Forge, going toward Gatlinburg. Uh, the last time I was down in there, I wanted to die. It was just crazy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I need however many more. I'm just going to have to fly around the world because that's the thing I'm missing. I've got super alloy rods and everything else, but I gotta have that uranium rod. Yeah, that's what I lack. Building the last thing. All right. For as much as I like that vehicle, it's kind of a pain in the butt. Oh. Well, you guys are too cute. I had a dog by the name of Chance. We got him at age 12. And he decided that he needed to go elsewhere at age 15, and he used to grunt like that when he was happy. He was a dachshund mix of some kind, more dachshund than mix, but his ears were a little bit food up. And I came over here to look for uranium. Did I get those? No, I did not. Not all of them. Did I leave anything there worth messing with? And they roll it back up and take it away. Very dangerous, but someone brings the coal where he's at, loads it onto a belt, he does it specific size. I've always heard that aluminum production was tough to do because of how reactive that is with other metals in a sense, because it would, other metals would latch onto aluminum, I think is the way it goes. I could be wrong and just talking out my backside, but I'm gonna see if I can put that platform right there on the end, but it's going to be a product of what will it let me do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, I need 2 more. What a bunch of baloney. I thought that would be filled with bees. Hey, Shaman. I'm still wearing spacesuit Fabio, just so you know. One more, one more. Yes, the jetpack does seem just as fast. I mean, it's one of those things. Okay. Insecure me has to ask, are you laughing at me or did I miss something? Okay. Ah, the DLC that's coming out, that'll work. The DLC that's coming out is totally different. I mean, I've got other things to go do after I do this. Yes. I don't know if you've. Oh, you might not be able to see that. No, you can't. Well, shiitake. Clicking that menu will take you to a video about it from the developers. It's a totally different thing. It's laughing at what you said. Okay, you're going to have to remind me what I said. Oh, Fabio. There. You would think after 3 cups of even decaf, I would be somewhat more functional. But, and that's going to tell me that I've got an anomaly location at that. So now let's get to making the explosive. Need a uranium rod again. Okay, some of this stuff's going to be easy. Some of it is going to be a pain in my backside. I could have let an auto crafter make all that, but I'm not going to worry about it. Well, I almost had 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now, the new game, you land in a totally different place. Um, it looks like, big stalks. Um, there's no cobalt on the ground. And to make cobalt, there is a crusher that you have to put a new mineral called dolomite in. And you go, and when you first land, you're like, holy moly. If you go behind you, you're going off of a cliff. And I've went off the cliff, and it is not fun. And you can't get back up. Early game, you don't have a jetpack. So I started going the other way, and I took a, house with me and the stuff to make a habitat with me, and uh, started going the other way, and I started finding abandoned settlements. And I'm talking, these look like aircraft hangars, like the big ones like a Quonset hut, but bigger. They each had crates in them that had stuff in them. They even had solar panels on the top of them that they've built some infrastructure for that is nothing like is in this game. But to get the game going, you have to work it a different way. The mechanics isn't the same. Oh, and I've got to go get that. It's it'll work your head a different direction because I know where everything is on this map. Even from right off the bat, jump one, I know where I'm going to get what I'm getting, and that I have set up a creative game to where I could go and fly and do whatever I want, and I've seen a fair bit of it. And there's, lots of biomes. There's one and there's Darlene Miller. Darlene, how are you? There's one biome in the new DLC that it is under pretty much the biome you landed on. And there's a picture of a golden tree. That golden tree is in that underground biome. It's definitely different. Yeah, another thing that is pretty smart about the new DLC that's coming out is if one person has it and you make a multiplayer game, everybody that's playing multiplayer with you can also get in the game with you and not have to have the DLC. From what I know, the DLC is going to be like right at $5, $4.99. I get it, and I'm playing it right now because I happen to watch their development pretty closely. They really seem like decent people, just really lovely folks. I'm flying all the way to the other side of the maps because I've got to get uranium, and there's the other uranium cave. So here, let's have a drink. Yeah, and that is cool for multiplayer, and I don't know how they're going to work that because the way multiplayer is for this planet, everybody has to be on the same version. And if you're not, it won't let you play. So I don't know whether they're just doing it for the development, but for like this is version 1.2 1.2 something. Well, for the development of the DLC, the version is 1.3. So, but they really changed it up in ways. For testing, they still got the same storyline going and things like that. But for when it comes out, but they have started saying coming soon, and like I said, that's usually an indication it's fixing to pop. Of which I'm going to have to spring for that, or I'll be unhappy. And it has been great fun, and I've, you know, messed with this game since version 0.4. Oh, there is no. Oh, there's a piece. Come on. Gotta have it. And they've made changes to this cave because it didn't used to have a back door, but it does now. All right, and I might have to go out the back door because I've gotten myself somewhat turned around. Well, they're the developers, and they'll manage to make it work somehow. This is over by the Rainbow Cave somewhere. And I've got... Yeah. Well, shiitake. I think it's really going to be worth the $5. They're charging $4.99. The $4.99 that they're going to charge for the DLC, I think they're going to have a winner on their hands. That's 6. Come on, I need a few more. That's not something you can make. Wow. Oh well. And I'm out of coffee. I'm unhappy about that. All right, what's fallen? And if that's a blasted mineral storm, I might be interested at this point. Let me go. Make a fly over to the waterfall. Darlene, I'm glad you could come and join us. Precisely why I invited you to my Discord, because that's usually where I announce what I'm playing and when I'm playing it, and you have shown up here, you know, without any prompting, and so, you know, if you're entertained in some ways or sitting giggling at me, I mean, I'm okay with either one. You know, I figure you should know when we're going to be here. Well, foot. There's that wreck back there, and there's this over here. I need uranium to even get off the planet. Why are you having a hitch in your giddy up? Oh. I watch videos daily. So do I, and I have YouTube Premium because I just didn't want to fool with the ads. And my wife, you know, allowed me, and it might make me look like a henpecked husband that I asked my wife, but we try to communicate back and forth as much as we can about what we're doing. I saw way too many people in the military that they'd both look into their checkbook and go, hey, I've got $300, and both go buy something. Then you're overdrawn by $300. I can't tell you how many times I saw that. And rather than suffer with the ads, she allowed me to do that. Um, you know, right after I retired, or I didn't retire, I guess. I stopped working. I just said, I've had enough, and I'm in enough pain on a daily basis that I just don't need to mess with it anymore. I knew there would come a day I would quit crawling under desks putting computers in. And it came quicker than I had imagined it would. But I know, all you guys know and understand. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight. Yep, that's what I needed. Yeah, YouTube Premium is the bomb. Well worth every dime I've spent. And I also have YouTube TV because I figured, they were pretty straight company about what I was doing and how. Okay, I need to go. Okay, do I have enough food? No, I do not. So I need to dump these things. I've still got all of that. I'm dumping that there. And I'm going to say that I might run a little late today because I'd really like to get this thing, over and done with and do one of the endings. It's got a circuit board, a fusion cell, 3 explosive powder. I don't need that uranium, but it makes everything even, so I'll go with it. And if I have to, I can drop it at this point. Well, Darlene, we're glad you're here and glad you're a member of my Discord, and I'm not selling anything. I'm probably going to go with the Sentinel Corp ending at this point, just because I don't have enough of anything else to do the other things. I haven't even looked for the Warden keys or anything. These last 5 months I've had much less pain. I don't know how I was functioning last year's. Yeah, well, my last job I was putting in computers at a local hospital under contract, and while we were putting them on the desk, I didn't have any problems with that. I was actually doing a heck of a lot of sitting on a daily basis. Well, then we went to patient rooms and we started doing them on arms that were on the wall that pulled out to where the doctor could pull a computer out from around the bed and, type into the computer while he was talking to the patient. And that's great. And I'm going the wrong darn way. And those things were about chest high, and I always had to stoop to, do that. And when I started doing that, my back started giving me tons of trouble. And I had already looked at the company, and I knew we were running out of computers to put, and it was a limited contract. And I worked there 8 months, and I looked at him and I said, for one, I've got a fair amount, I'm doing good for myself, and there's nothing wrong with that. But, I've went to the wrong place. When the contract ends, let me be the first one to be let go. And they said, okay, not a problem. Well, my pain became very acute. I went to the VA and reclaimed because, my injury was in my lower back. And so I finally got more money out of them. And it was one of those things that I just said, looked at the wife and said, "Can we do this?" And we sat down with a pad and a piece of paper and said, "Yes, we can." And here we are. I went to the wrong spot. Good morning, AMP. I hope that you are feeling some better. And I understood your message perfectly. Been there and done that. Have the t-shirt. Wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy. Hey, 5-hole views. Woohoo! And for as much as I think I know about this game, I just went to the wrong place. Over 400 hours in it. Here I am flying around out in the desert like I don't know my ass from a hole in the ground. AMP, I was telling all these folks here that I might run a little long today because I would at least like to get one ending under my belt. Now, if I do, I do. Glad to be here with everyone. Wouldn't want to be anywhere else. Well, we've kind of decided the same thing, that we have met up with a good bunch of people and that you and Andreas are the crux of that. Come on. Where am I going? What am I doing? I have walked right up and gotten stuck. And I know how to get out of those situations, but I felt like I could do different. All the sand looks the same. Yeah, you're not wrong. Weren't you the one that said the sand looked like cornmeal? Whoop, whoop, whoop. That could have been bad. Falling from such a great height. Okay. Do what you need to do. I enjoy watching your videos. I know everyone else does as well. Well, I appreciate that. As I have said before, it's your fault. Oh, oh, oh. All right. And here we go. Yep, and there's your message. Hour and 10 minutes in. Woohoo! And just so everybody knows, the doctor's appointment yesterday went well. My wife was just going for a checkup. The one thing I did look at her and say before she walked into the doctor's, because we were having a crisis of cream and I had to go to the store and get cream while she was in the doctor's, was I think you need to talk to him about going to the audiologist because her hearing is, you know, not as good as it once was. And I have to admit, there are moments that my hearing aids drive me a bit nuts, but they're better than the alternative. And when I do use them, and yes, I'm using them right now, they're wonderful. Don't forget to leave a thumbs up for the interplanetary fun. My unofficial moderator, Shaman, I appreciate it. Thank you very much. You're far too kind to an old guy who just wanted to make a video or two. Alrighty then. Well, I lied. Now that we've got everything blown up, I should be able to get off this rock. Oop, back up. But if I thought for one moment I could find some of the warden's keys. Congratulations, our sensors indicate you successfully terraformed your assigned planet. However, our monitoring indicates that your planet has an anomaly that prevents... Okay, blah, blah, blah. I already got that. This will be my last message I'll be able to send you. I've done all I could, but our options are limited. I'd strongly advise you not to trust Sentinel Corp, as they have shown multiple times how unfair and oppressive they are. They could not care less about you or any other convicts. I've managed to contact a smuggler. They are willing to take you on board for 250,000 Terra tokens. They've lowered it. It used to be 500. And 5 solar quartz. It used to be 10. Collect the correct amount of Terra tokens and fill your departure platform inventory. Required quartz to board with them. They are untrustworthy too and can't guarantee you anything. Future's uncertain, and despite all you went through, what lies ahead might be even harder. I'd like this to be a happy ending, but life's not fair. Well, and that's true. Ah, coffee. It's a reflex. Let me see if I do have 5 solar quartz. And yes, I do. And Lord knows I might come back to this and do all 3 of them because I'm just that nuts. Now, let me go see if I can find the warden key extractor. Cut rate pirates, yeah. No, that's not there yet. It's not there. Is it over here? No. Well, at some point, that will pop up. Well, folks, I believe I've got 170,000. Do I have any fuses worth selling? Oh, and I took an energy multiplier fuse because I thought I didn't have any more. Do. Current inventory value 66,018. And I have 70,129. I'm sorry. I will speak up. Forgive me. Let's see. 170,129 plus 66. Gonna be right near where they want me to be for that. Yes, you're laughing at me, and that's all right. That's more food than I usually carry, and everybody's gone. And I've got 176 more Terra tokens because somebody's coming down. I need to make a bossy heifer emoji for here. I say, yes, you probably do. However, I would have to get monetized and start allowing memberships, and I'm not sure that that will ever happen. And you can say what you want, but that bossy heifer keeps me straight. And yes, she's invaluable. Absolutely. Well, shiitake. I don't know if Darlene came after Icy said that she was 41, but Icy has graced the world with her presence for 41 years now. Well, something I was telling Shaman the other day, and there's the other message, was that this has become kind of therapeutic. You know, I sit and talk to you folks, and it's a good thing to get stuff off my chest. And I mean, our monitoring indicates the anomaly has been successfully destroyed. Use the departure platform to be extracted from the planet. We will re-examine your sentence based on various deviations from the rules that could be attributed to you. This is not an automated message. Well, let me go to the... I need to get that warden message. Might as well use my child herding skills for greater purpose. Herding gamers. Oh, I worked with a programmer one time in the military, and when they did my going away party, I said something to him in the last thing I really had to say was, I said, Ted, getting a programmer to do anything is like herding cats. He was the most stubborn guy. Yeah, I know about that. It's nice for me not having to stream and and just to be able to chat sometimes. It's therapeutic. Let my rotten brain rest. Yeah, and that's, you know, funny for as much as I'm kind of an introvert and everything. Yeah, no, you're fine. You're fine. Um, to sit down and do this for as um, stupid as it is, and I just did it because it looked like a fair amount of fun. I just went, okay, I can do that. All right, it's 1:21, hour and 21 minutes into this. Now I've got those there. I don't have the warden keys, but I can do the sentinel ending. You deserve all the thanks you get, Shaman. Yeah, I'm with Shaman. I see no errors in that statement. I understood it, and trust me, I've had that not so fresh feeling. I get it. Now, you guys are good people, and you know, hanging around with good people brings out the good in you. Being empathetic is like a muscle. The more you use it, the better you are at it. And Lord knows I can be just a grumpy ass. Uh, and, God bless my wife. I'll be the first one to tell you that um, 236,000, which means I need 14,000 more. Okay, do I take the ending and then come back and play this some more until I get the other endings? I think that's going to be the play. Oh, and there it is. Yes. Mm. Yeah, if you don't feel good, don't stream. I mean, you know, I like I like to do this when my batteries are charged and I'm feeling like I've got some brains about me, and to do it while I don't. And I have done it a time or two that I felt pretty rough. I didn't. However, I think my videos are subpar at best. You know, they're not polished, and I don't mean for them to be, because I I do a whole lot of nothing and I enjoy it. This is part of my doing nothing and I enjoy it. And if I get to, you know, YouTube always kicks you down on the ranking and promoting library if you aren't steady streaming or putting out a video. And that is the truth. That is 100% the truth. Uh, I am working on getting my connection to the house improved so I can start doing a few more videos and recording in an off time, doing premieres and things like this. We'll see. Okay, hour and 24 minutes and 30 seconds in, and I'm pressing the button, and we're going to call this a video. So, I appreciate you guys being here. Amp, please tell Dreas I said good morning and hello. I hope he's doing well. You know, yeah, I didn't make videos ahead of time. And I have actually thought about doing that because, once you get to doing it and you want people to recognize you're going to be there every morning at 8 or 10 or whenever, yeah, I could see recording some that were different. So you could pop one up when you didn't feel good and take a day off. And that's one of the reasons why I don't stream on Wednesday, Saturday, or Sunday, because I do stuff with you guys on Saturday, and Sunday I walk the neighborhood and do whatever I want. Yeah. All right, folks, we're going to wind this up, but first we're going to click the button. And once it goes back to the menu, I'm done. You guys have been great. No, Amp, you rock. You guys have been extremely supportive of me, more than you know, and I appreciate the encouragement. To the stars. But actually, it's back to jail because of what they're saying. Congratulations, you successfully terraformed this planet. Come on. We'll now re examine your sentence based on your various deviations from the rules that could be attributed to you. You know, hell, you just terraformed a whole planet for these people, and they're going to take what you've made off of your back. For the moment, you will remain in detention, so you're still in jail. Yep, while your case is examined. Let me see if my mouse worked, because I know the last time we did an ending with all of us together, everybody's mouse died afterwards. But and no mouse. Yeah, that does suck. All right, folks, it's been a good time.